Dear all, I have known Dr. Amanullah Hamidzai since 1992 when I started working for the State Health Department of Maryland. I will call him Aman because he is my dear friend, but he is Dr. Amanullah Hamidzai. He is a medical doctor and also he has done Masters of Public Health on Fulbright scholarship. So when we had our first political discussion in 1992, Aman was very bitter about Pakistani military's role in destruction of their country. He was upset that some Afghan liberals and progressive leaders were killed in Peshawar and certain religious extremists were promoted to lead the country. Although I was not a big fan of Ziaul Haq, but I was brainwashed to think that we were saving Afghans from Soviet Union. We later became good friends. Aman knew a lot of Persian stories, especially Sheikh Sadi, and he used to quote them frequently. He was influenced by the war in Afghanistan, of course. One time I had an issue with two of my supervisors, and I asked Aman for advice. He said, Ghazala, you can't fight on two battlefronts. You should finish one and then start the next one. His, quotes were from war and from Sheikh Sadi. As I said, I have known Aman since 1992, but I did not know he did his Masters of Public Health from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, on a Fulbright scholarship until his son sent me his resume. He is humble but very strong when he has to stand up for his cause. So this is his resume. I'm going to just go through it very quickly. His education is University of Kabul. He did his medicine, MD, 1965. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Masters of Public Health, 1969. And then he went into Research Institute of Japan Anti-Tuberculosis Association. So now I request Asim Yousafzai to ask Aman questions about Afghanistan's past, present, and future.
So we have here an Afghan scholar, as Ghazala introduced, and we will discuss some of the issues within Afghanistan, Pakistan-Afghanistan, and then just the region in general. So what I would like to know in the beginning is that you have seen the rise and fall of various empires actually. You have seen what happened when Russia came to Afghanistan, when Russia invaded in Afghanistan. Then you saw how America was involved in Afghanistan. You have seen all of that. You have seen major societal changes there. You have seen major upheavals there. How do you see Afghanistan today as compared to what you have seen before all of this mayhem?
Well, Afghanistan, when it was King Zahir Shah in a very quiet country. You can travel everywhere, and security was very good. And then there was some problem between Pakistan and Afghanistan, particularly when what was the president name when his daughter was again
Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Zulfikar Bhutto.
Oh, Zulfikar Bhutto. It was almost to be resolved. Zulfikar Bhutto was coming to Kabul to talk. From where? In clear sky, they told, oh, it's very rainy day in Kabul, the plane cannot land. So his trip was cancelled. We miss that very good opportunity. Then changes came in Afghanistan too. The worst time was for the relation when Daur took over. And he was very concerned about the Pashtunistan, the Pashtun area. His argument was that Durand line was at the time when India was under the control of British. The British is gone. This treaty is signed in that time. When that is gone, the treaty is gone. So that's what his argument was, because the treaty was not with Pakistan. The treaty was with Britain.
A lot of, I'm sure you have a lot of personal anecdotes because you have lived actually your life there. But you alluded to Durand Line, and the agreement was signed in 1893 between the Afghan government and the British Empire. So, as an Afghan citizen, as an Afghan intellectual, how do you see the Durand Line right now between Pakistan and Afghanistan? How do you see it, and how do you see its future?
Well, to go back, Afghanistan was the line between India and Afghanistan was Indus Road.
Indus River.
So that was, I still believe the people over there are Pashtuns, and on this side is Pashtun, and before it was the Indus Road was the line. So it was later on when the Durand line came with the British. So
how do you feel about this agreement right now? Like, as an intellectual, as an Afghan citizen, how do you see the future of Durand Line between Pakistan and Afghanistan?
I don't know, actually. I don't know, because the world is day-to-day changing.
Let's talk about the present government in Afghanistan, so-called government in Afghanistan. Do you think that it is a legitimate government? The Taliban government is a legitimate government, because so far it has not been recognized globally. Though they are in contact with different countries, but they are not recognized actually. Their assets are still frozen. Do you think it's a legitimate government?
Which country has recognized it? In Russia said other days they are about to recognize.
Correct, but so far nobody has recognized it.
Nobody has.
Last time they were recognized by 3 countries actually: Pakistan, UAE, and Saudi Arabia.
Pakistan still not.
No, but I'm talking about the last time actually.
Oh, last time.
This time nobody has recognized them. So what, as an intellectual, as an Afghan citizen, what are your thoughts about the current Afghan government?
They even do not have a passport. So that. Oh, but their situation inside Afghanistan is there is no work. So many people were out of their work because the offices are closed. They lost income.
The American money stopped.
Yeah. And then the women cannot work. There was a time in Afghanistan, only one person was working and he was feeding the whole family. Now, the whole family should work until. So, people are hungry, if they don't work. And
Last year, Taliban said that it is not our job to provide employment and food to the people of Afghanistan. They said it is the job of God. How does that make you feel? What do you think about that?
they had changed that. The Taliban, you see, there are few people talking of there. So usually it's a person's idea. The government, that's why I remember that what you say. It was, I don't know which minister was that, but like this, well, it was not the government speaker. It was a person like that. Even one day there was one of them said, actually, other than work, there is no big deal, big problem,
So you say there is no big problem, but there are gross human rights violations in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Women cannot work. Women cannot even go to school, actually. Girls have been banned from going to school. Initially, they said that we are just like making some changes in curriculum, things like that, and then girls will be able to go to school. But they have actually, and I knew that at that time, that once they made the decision that girls will not go to school, they are still not going to school. What do you think about that?
I know one of their top person. Before I know him, before that, once in a while, when I go at least once last time, didn't go and see him. I asked him this issue, and he agreed with me, and he said, I am sorry too, but can I do something? It's there are, I believe, few people on the top in Taliban, they make that decision.
Who are those top people who are making decisions in Afghanistan right now? Is it someone sitting in Kandahar, or is it someone sitting in Kabul?
Head is Hebatullah.
Afghanistan is full of natural resources. There are all types of natural resources in Afghanistan. There is timber, they have rugs, they have all kinds of natural resources there. There is major water resources there. There are minerals. There are lots of minerals actually, especially rare earth elements are there. There is copper and gold in Misanuk, which is located in Logar province, right next to Kabul. Then there is oil and gas in Farah, in Amu Darya basin. There is iron deposits, there are nickel deposits. It's everywhere basically.
They have a lot of lithium.
Exactly. Those are called, lithium is a part of the rare earth elements. It's one of the rare earth elements is lithium. There is cesium, there is strontium, all of those. That's a part of, these are like 28 different elements which are part of the rare earth elements. There is a district in southern province of Helmand, and that is called Khanashin, and there is an ancient volcano there which has actually erupted a lot of rare earth elements, including lithium. China
Yeah,
is...
that's why the American usually camp there.
Correct. Yes. So United States Geological Survey has worked on that actually, and they had some estimates. Sometimes some of the estimates are in trillions of dollars. However, due to security, so far none of these activities can be carried out. However, China has signed some contracts, especially for Mesanuk, but there is that ancient civilization there actually, and because of that, so far mining activity has not started. How do you see the role of China in Afghanistan?
I think, I'll tell you one thing. China made a big market inside Kabul. The China has very cheap materials. So the situation is much better, China. They want to come here and through here go to Turkey, Iran and Middle East. And that's why that's their new plan of China to through a Khan make a train to here.
That is called the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, and CPEC in Pakistan is a part of that actually. That's one of the branch is the CPEC, that is part of the broader BRI, which is the Belt and Road Initiative of China. And again, I will ask this question again, like China is, it is actually expanding its tentacles in the entire region. So how do you see that actually, that it is expanding its tentacles, and it is just, we have seen the rise of various empires. That's what the British were doing actually. They also came there and then they expanded it to the half of the world. So China is pretty much following the same path as they are also expanding it. They have now expanded to Africa. So how do you see the role of Afghanistan? How Afghanistan can help China or not help China in this situation?
I don't, to be honest, I don't know much because it's not of the discussions in Afghanistan that would China in Afghanistan.
What are the discussions which are taking place there? When you go there and you are sitting there for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
What are the discussions which take place on a daily basis when you are sitting with your peers, when you're sitting with your family, when you're sitting with government officials? What kind of discussions take place?
I came to my saying, I'm saying, if you don't touch the beehive, so you will be okay. I don't touch the beehive.
I noticed that actually. I noticed that. Yes. Yes.
You know, because
He goes back.
my age doesn't let me to get in administration and in politics. And so I don't touch beehive.
Okay. All right. With that, we came to an end. If you have any questions, please let us know.
आपसे सवाल कर लूं अगर
जी जी
देखिए हम एक इंटेलेक्चुअली कह सकते हैं कि 1893 में ड्यूरेंट लाइन का मुआहदा हुआ अफगानिस्तान और यूनाइटेड इंडिया या ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के दरमियान। अब कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि हम इसको क्यों इनहेरिट करें, कुछ कहते नहीं इनहेरिट करें, तो हम दरमियान में क्या रास्ता ढूंढ सकते हैं इसके?
सो इस तरह से है कि ऑब्वियसली दोनों ममालिक के जो व्यूज़ हैं वो तो डायमेट्रिकली अपोजिट हैं इस पे, ठीक है। इवन जो तालिबान गवर्नमेंट है विच इज़ द मोस्ट कंजर्वेटिव एंड अंटिल वेरी रिसेंटली इट वाज लाइक अ काइंड ऑफ प्रॉक्सी ऑफ पाकिस्तान, बट इवन दे आर नेशनलिस्ट फर्स्ट. वी ऑलवेज फॉरगेट दैट. Taliban are nationalists first actually. They are Afghan citizens no matter where they are born, and they grew up. No matter where they grew up. And it's good that he is actually backing me up on this. So they are Afghan nationals first. They are Afghan nationalists. They will always look at Afghan interest first, not Pakistan interest. So that's why whatever decision has been taken, and that was actually the Grand Jargah. So when the Grand Jargah made that decision that we will not recognize Durand line, nobody is recognizing it. And if you ask anybody in Afghanistan, they will say we do not recognize Durand line. Up to Indus, it is ours. That's how they say it. tar da chikam da sin de tar de pore da zamunga de tar sin pore da zamunga de. So that is actually ours, and they do not definitely, and there is no real chance of changing that in any time soon or any time in the future. Obviously, the thinking in Pindi and Islamabad is completely opposite of that. They
पाकिस्तान बना था तो उस वक्त अफगानिस्तान हुकूमत का बाकायदा वफ्द आया था पाकिस्तान में और उन्होंने इस इशू को उठाया था कि अप टू इंडस हमें दिया जाए, बाकायदा एक रिपोर्ट आया था। उसके बाद फिर वही बात है कि अब हम क्या करें। डॉक्टर साहब ने जैसे बात बताई, बड़ी अच्छी बात बताई कि जो इस साइड के लोग हैं नहीं जाना चाहते अफगानिस्तान के साथ, अब क्या करें।
तो अभी जो है ना वो तो स्टेटस को जाहिर है, स्टेटस को के अलावा इस वक्त आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है कि आप इसी स्टेटस को आप बरकरार रखें, क्योंकि अगर आप इसको छेड़ेंगे इस टाइम पे, या आप देखें दाऊद के टाइम पे कुछ हुआ था, ठीक है, तो ये अगर आप इस इशू को इस वक्त आप उठाएंगे तो डेफिनेटली देयर विल बी मोर ब्लडशेड, देयर विल बी मोर इश्यूज। सो इट इज बेटर एक्चुअली टू लीव इट टू a time where there is relative stability in both countries, and then actually there is a decision, an agreed upon decision between the two countries, so that there is actually a little bit of normalcy between, because again the thing again the people are exactly the same on either side. Now that political boundary has been drawn since 1893. Now that has definitely an impact on how people think on either side of the border actually. So Pakistan has done a very good job actually of co-opting the Pashtun community on this side of the border. And if you even go and ask them, they will, most of them will say, nope, we want to stay with Pakistan actually. We are not, and especially in the past 40 years, when Afghanistan is in such a bad situation, nobody would actually want to go and join a country which is in the status of Afghanistan right now. So again, the best thing would be for both countries to just maintain that status quo and then wait for some time, wait for a later time and make that decision.
हाँ, अनवर साहब जो है ना उसने तब्दीली की बात की है। देखिए तब्दीली जो है ना वो 90 दिन में आ चुकी है, ठीक है ना। 90 दिन में हम तब्दीली जो है वो ला चुके हैं, सब कुछ जो है वो बदल चुका है। हमीजा साहब, this gentleman is asking the question that there was actually there was a little bit of disagreement between Taliban and Pakistan in the past few months, or a little bit more than that. So then Taliban went to New Delhi actually, and they met with the Indian government. Should Pakistan be worried about that?
You see, when you have enemy, you have to show your strength.
Yes.
One of the strength is
Very good
that
answer.
we can have friendship with them.
Yes.
You know, like that. Another was that
My
when-
enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yeah. And the other string was when they were bombarding Afghanistan, show him name, I remember, the Russian rocket. It said, we have that and we can hit Islamabad. The next time if you do, we will hit Islamabad.
Exactly. So, Dr. Saab, to answer your question, it is, so what is happening is that Afghans have always maintained a very cordial relations with India. That is a historic fact actually, and it has not changed in the past. Pakistan has always told us that India is coming and it is building all these consulates along Durand line. That was never true actually. I believe India has only like 4 consulates inside Afghanistan besides their embassy in Kabul. So that again, that fear has always been exaggerated. Okay. Afghans have always maintained cordial relations. They will actually maintain cordial relations.
Whether it's Taliban or whoever.
It doesn't really matter actually, because again, Taliban are nationalists first. However, India has done a few very good things for Afghan society. They built actually the new parliament building. They built Salma Dam. in Western Afghanistan. They were, which was actually at one point it was almost blew up by Taliban. 500 Taliban fighters actually they came together and they wanted to blow it up. They are also working on a couple of other dams as well inside Afghanistan. They are doing major IT work in Afghanistan. A lot of these contractors, they are actually Indians, and they were Indians during the US time as well.
Build their cricket team.
Yes, so again, those relations are always there, but this was just basically a tit for tat. They just wanted to show Pindi that look, we have options actually, and that's why they are now going to China, especially to show Pakistan that look, you are not just friends with China, we are also actually friends with China. And so that was basically just to to show Pindi that look, we have other options.